here she is, the new and improved Tingle Shed. All finished and ready to show you. This is the sound of daytime. We've got some aeroplanes flying overhead and lots of birds. It's actually raining, just very, very lightly. So we're underneath an umbrella, but it's not quite heavy enough to hear. But that's why I think the birds are singing away, because they're happy in the rain. You can also maybe hear the road. This microphone is really good at just picking up what's in front of it, so you may hear a bit of a swish in the background. So, we have a new colour on the outside, which is a teal colour, I think. And the door, well, it was supposed to be purple, but it's come out kind of, shall we say, raspberry, purpley, dark pink, kind of. And to the right, there's a black bamboo plant in a black, dark grey pot, which I think is rather beautiful. And to the left, there's a hanging basket with some fern. And just below the fern, you can see the Buddha. But unfortunately, during the build, he lost an arm, so I'm going to fix that soon. I'm just drying out the arm. Poor thing. He had some rolls of insulation fall on him. That's the heavy sound insulation, so he didn't really stand a chance, I'm afraid. But he'll be okay. He'll be fixed soon. So there, I wanted to show you the outside during the daytime, because the last video was at night and you didn't really get to see the roof and hear the birds. It's a very, very cloudy day. Look, quite misty too. That doesn't stop the aeroplanes though, unfortunately. Okay, shall we go a little bit closer? And I shall take you inside. Here's the bamboo. I'll pop this brolly down, because it's kind of stopped raining now. You can see the bamboo. This is something I was so excited to show you. There. Love HQ, aka Tingle Shed II. Tingle Shed II. This sign was made by a company called Potting Shed Designs. I bought it from them and told them what it was for, and they were so nice and made it really quickly. And you should have seen the packaging it came in. I looked at it and thought, wow, this would make such a good video, but I really needed to get it up onto the wall. It had lavender and beautiful paper. They're really nice, so I wanted to mention them. Potting Shed Designs. There, I love that sign. This is the same door I had last time, but I've obviously repainted it. And I think it's a nice colour and it came out quite well. It was definitely ready for a paint. The whole shed was very thirsty, so it took quite a few coats. I was absolutely covered in paint from head to toe, but I enjoyed it. I was out in all weathers. As long as it wasn't raining, I could paint. So I'm quite proud of my painting job. There's the fern. And in the summertime, I'm going to hang some more baskets along this wall here. Some of those that you can attach straight to the wall, and I'm going to grow some strawberries. They can hang over the basket and I can pick one as I walk past. There. Love HQ. Are you ready? Get the old door handle. This is a very creaky door. I'm going to go inside. How exciting! And we walk straight into a kind of porch area, hallway, very tiny. This forms part of the cavity, which I shall explain to you later. And we arrive straight into the wardrobe department, as you can see. There's Tingle Basket on the top shelf there, and this shelving system I'm very proud of because I erected this myself. I'm very good with an electric drill, I'll have you know. My father taught me well. 3 baskets and they pull out. Very handy for storing video backgrounds and blankets. This here is a hand steamer, so when you hang up a background you can steam it straight. It's much easier than ironing on an ironing board when it's something that big. So that's a must. And some head massages there. I have plenty of these lying around. More blankets and curtains. There's a green screen in a packet and black curtains there. This is my beauty tunic for kind of massagey facial videos. Some hangers. And this here is kind of a dentist outfit, come veterinary affair. This is my newsreader top. Lovely. And of course, here is Dr. Red's jacket and Dr. Feelgood's jacket. And the smiley face watch. It's very precious to me. I've had that for about 4 years, nearly 4 years since starting the channel. I obviously have lots of other things I wear in videos, but those are normal clothes that I wear regularly, so they're in my normal wardrobe. Right, so I'm going to shut this door. Let's turn around. Turn you around, around. This is the other side, and the door, the outside door, closes all the way up to this wall, so it isn't space for storage as such, but I can manage to get my whiteboard there, or Barbara's whiteboard, and there's a case here for something. Okay, so I'm going to close the outside door, and once I do that we shall be in complete darkness for a moment. Ready? This is a very loud door. And there we are. Ooh. And in front of us here is the main door to the inside room. It's a very thick and heavy door. Are you ready? I've been so excited to make this video. I can't explain. But here we go. Lots of creaks. Wow. Here it is. A very bright white room. You're looking at the ceiling, which I'm sure is fascinating. Here we are. And this is the door we've just come through. There. So let's close this door. There we are. It's a very thick door. You may know that studio doors are hugely expensive, and the one I found, which was the cheapest, was about £3,000, and that's not happening because that was more than the budget for the whole thing. So I managed to find this solid wood door, and we coated it with sound membrane on either side, and then another layer on top of that of ply so that I could paint it. And it's working pretty well, I think. On the edges here there's some pea strip just to fill up the gap so we don't get too much sound leakage. This isn't the recommended material for soundproofing, but it's quite cheap, so I wanted to try it to see if it would work, and if it doesn't then I'll have a look at getting one of the professional kits for studio doors that just fill in these areas here. And I painted that. In fact, I think I painted all of this. There. And there's already a bit of a mark on the door there because Boo has been in here enjoying herself. Okay, so this part here is where the old room was, and in the corner here behind the door I have a heater, and this is part of the old room as well. This is a table I've used in lots and lots of videos. So I've popped that there for now. The building has all brand new electrics, and I chose to keep all of the plug sockets on the back wall here just to keep the other walls clear. And this here is a pull-out bed and also a thinking chair. I thought that might come in handy. This used to be in my son's room and he didn't want it anymore because he changed his room around. So I kept it for in here. And this of course is Tingle cushion. Which you may remember from other videos. So I'm going to turn around and sit down on this chair and show you the rest of the room. Actually, before I do that, let's put on this incense so we can have a nice smell going on. I pop you down here so you can watch. You're on a mini tripod. There we are. Cook's matches, and I have some cedar wood here. This is my favourite brand of incense. It's called Maroma. It's one of the more expensive ones, so I don't burn it all the time anyway, so I don't mind too much, but they smell really real. 100% natural fragrance, and it's fair trade. It's tree bark powder, natural essential oils and resins. Made in India. Good old Cook's matches here. There. I do like cedarwood. So with that going on, let's sit on the chair, pull out bed. And here we are, this is the rest of the room. On the left there is a ring light, and then we've got this background frame, and from it, with the clips, you can hang curtains and professional backgrounds and all kinds of things. The carpet here is purple, and you can see along the side that blue cable is an extension lead. I just wanted to keep all of the walls nice and clear, and also sometimes if there is electrical noise from the sockets, that's kept away from the recording as well, because it's on the other side of the room. To the right you can see there's all of the foam squares I had in the other room. They're all stacked up. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to keep them in the long term, but we shall see. For now, I've just kind of stacked them around me as I'm filming, because it's still quite echoey in here. I'll rectify that over time. There is the light fitting, which is quite nice, I think. 4 spotlights all pointed outwards. And to the right there is a shelving unit. There. So I think what I'll do is I will turn off the main light so that you can see the fairy lights, and I'll turn on the ring light and show you everything that I have on the shelf, okay? So there's the background with the fairy lights. I think it looks really pretty. I'll change that soon because I used that for the last 2 videos. But I love that effect. Here's a stool, and I use this to sit on every time I sit down in a video. It's always that one, and I put a cushion on it. The phone. I'm afraid this camera's not so good at autofocus, but I shall keep an eye on it. Now this strange contraption here it's by Aston Microphones, and it's called the Halo. This came with the Aston Origin microphones I got quite a while ago, and it's kind of a vocal booth. It's really handy. I've used it a few times, and when you go very close inside, it sounds like you're under a duvet or something. I really like it. Two stands there, those are for lights, and then microphone stands. In those bags there, we've got tripods for the camera, and there's a table here which is flat against the wall at the moment. That's been used in so many videos. I have no idea how many, but basically every video with a table, it's either this one or the little side table, the brown one. And that's, I think, one of the first things I bought for the channel. It was really cheap and it's been really useful. Against the wall here, just behind everything, there. You may recognise this from the last room. This is a board, it's painted on one side, different colour. That's a background. I'm not sure if I will use it in this room, but I'm not going to throw anything away. So I'll keep it there for a while and see if it comes in handy. So this is my shelving unit. All little bits and bobs I need. Let's see, on the top shelf is candlesticks. Let's focus here. That's it. That's better. This is a pot, which I like. You may have seen that in the background sometimes. And this is my peacock, and she's sitting on my extremely handy blue tag. She's taking care of that. A jar with some glitter, head massager, of course. Some candles. These are those electric candles with batteries in them. They're used quite a lot. Some are stronger than others. This is... where can I focus this? This doesn't want to focus. Oh yes, it does now. This is a roll-on, which is aromatherapy, and my friend Stephanie bought me this for my birthday, so that's going to stay there and I'll use it before filming. It's mandarin and lavender, but it has all sorts in there as well. It's a blend of cedarwood, atlas, bergamot, clary sage and vetiver. And this here is my Bluetooth speaker, because when I set up videos I listen to music, and I thought I'd treat myself to a little speaker so that the sound would be better, because normally I would play it through my phone. Seeing as I'm in a sound place, a soundproof place, I could play it really loud and no one could hear. So I often listen to Morrissey or Kate Bush, Tori Amos. I was listening to Ash the other night, really loud. And then I quickly put on some Reiki music to calm myself down. So on this shelf you'll see two little microphone stands with heavy bases and the rest of the clips that hold on the backgrounds on there. And this is a very scary looking dummy head, and she really does need a hairbrush. That's disgusting. Sorry about that. She's come straight out of a bag and has just been left there, which is not acceptable at all. Poor girl. Sorry. But she is the model for all of your haircuts, which you'll be pleased to know. She looks stunning. And this is a storage box. I've got a few of these. So this first one has general bits and bobs that are needed for equipment and background and stuff like that. So I've got batteries in here, and this is some black tape, electrical tape, to hold things onto things. I usually hold the voice recorder onto a microphone stand with that. Just general stuff really, a pencil and sellotape. This is a bag of clips. I've got some drawing pins, safety pins, some cable ties here, which are also useful to tie things onto things. Butterflies in a packet, a feather in a packet, and some more blue tack, and a couple of mirrors just to check the hair and the makeup before filming. On the next shelf, there's an extension lead here and two more boxes. Okay, so let me get one of these boxes and pop it on the chair so you can see what's inside. So this box is for equipment stuff. There's a mini camera stand. There's a plug for, I think that's the Zoom H5 power plug, or H6 is it? And this one is a clamp for microphones. You can clamp this onto your stand and hold a microphone up. That's come in handy once or twice. And a little windy muff thing here. When you buy equipment, it usually comes with different accessories, so it's handy to keep them all together. There's a microphone lead there, and two more hairy windy muffs. Those were in a video once, you may remember. And just stuff like that. That goes on top of a microphone stand to hold a regular microphone like that. And this thing here you would screw to the zoom, so you can hold the zoom as a microphone or to a camera. Just handy bits and pieces. And every video is filmed in a different way, and every video is like a little problem you have to solve. So if you've got the right tools to do it, then that makes everything easier. Okay, so I'll leave that there. This is the big one. And in here I've got things like fairy lights, and there are two photography light bulbs. I used to have two soft boxes, but they were super cheap and they broke really, really quickly. but I kept the bulbs because they're expensive, and I'll use them in the future if I happen to get better quality light boxes. I'll use those. And on the bottom shelf I've got 2 lamps which I often have on in the background. A friend of mine had these and they were going spare. They didn't want them anymore, so I took them quickly. I said, I'll have them, thank you. And to I think these are things that you rest your gun on, but we're not doing any of that here, obviously. So I use them as weights. They're really handy. They're just bags with hooks on, and I filled them with rice. And if I need to weight the other side of a microphone stand or something like that, they're perfect. Or to hold down the camera stand, because my camera stands are quite cheap and they're a bit flimsy, so if you put a weight on them, then they're more solid to the ground. And that is more or less it. So the carpet, actually it isn't it at all. I want to tell you how this building was made. So this carpet is a new one. I had a brown carpet in the last room, which was obviously too small, and I went back to the carpet place to get some more brown to fill the rest of the room. I thought that would be a shame to buy a whole new carpet, but this piece, and it's a beautiful colour obviously, was a bargain for the whole lot. So I got it, and it's really nice. Okay, so this beautiful, quiet, white room is a room inside the outer shed. So what we did, and when I say we, I mean me and my dad, we built a stud wall on the inside, and there's a cavity all the way around, so the stud wall came in about this far. I can't remember the exact cavity size, but it's not as big as maybe you would think, but just enough to trap the sound coming through the outer wall, and it travels around the cavity and disperses, so it's less chance of it coming in through to the middle room. So there's a stud wall which is here, built around, and a ceiling, and we have a false floor as well. The floor has been heightened, so there's a gap under the floor, and there's a gap all the way around the room, and that's an air cavity. And then inside the stud wall we've got some rock wool sound insulation, and then on the outside of that we've got some soundproof membrane, which is a very, very heavy rubbery material, and the heavier it is, the more soundproof it is. So the sheets were so heavy, it took 3 and sometimes 4 of us to hold them up so that they could be stapled to the stud wall. The sides weren't too bad, but the ceiling was really hard because holding up the sound membrane, which is heavy and it just wants to fall on your head, holding it up all the way across the wall the ceiling, to staple it down was really tricky, but we managed it in the end. And then on top of that, there's the sound panel, which is a plasterboard, and it's a more dense version of regular plasterboard, hence the name sound panel. So that's on the ceiling and the walls, and the membrane is also on the floor. And then on top of that, it's plaster. And on top of that, it's paint. And this is what we have. So it was quite a big job. And the electrics as well. So once all that was done, then the second fix of electrics came in, and Jeff, the electrician, put on the light and the plug sockets, and then the door went on. The door was quite interesting to make, and we have 4 hinges there because it's so heavy. I feel like I really need to be careful with it, but it's very secure. My dad's a very good builder. I've been watching him build my whole life. I used to sit and watch him build walls on summer's days, sit on the grass watching him if he did work at home. And I used to enjoy watching him work. I used to get tingles from it too. It's really good. He's a very, very hard worker. He retired last year, and the poor thing came out of retirement to do this room for us. So I'm so grateful to him. Thank you, Dad. But it was nice to spend a few weeks with him every day. I made him lunch, and I was his workmate. I did everything he needed me to do. Went out and got materials here and there when he needed them, things that he ran out of, like screws and stuff. All of the main materials I sourced, and that was interesting. Organising the deliveries and coordinating everything. It was a little bit stressful at times, but it's all worth it. And I'm really glad it's done. So glad. And Dad's gone back to his retirement, although I don't believe he could ever really fully retire. He's not the type. He's the hardest working man I've ever met, and my work ethic for sure comes from him. But he enjoys it too, So there. It's very quiet, isn't it? So relaxing in here. The time now is about 4:30, and I know for sure that this microphone isn't picking up anything from the outside. For instance, the 3DO would, a little bit. It would pick up the low frequencies from aeroplanes and traffic. But not this one. So most videos I will probably film after tea time, about after 6 or something like that. And the last video I filmed at 8 o'clock at night, and I was done by bedtime, which was so amazing. I'm so grateful for that. I can't tell you how much this room is changing my life, and it's going to change my life. There's nothing about this channel that I haven't enjoyed. but I have to say that filming so late at night, finishing sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up at 7, 7:30 has been really hard. I've had to really schedule my sleep, and now I feel as though I can really put myself a little bit more into the videos, because filming in the daytime, or at least early evening, I have more energy. My eyes aren't so red because I'm tired, and I can focus more on what I'm saying, whereas sometimes in the middle of the night, even if I've worked out what the video is going to be and what I'm going to say and all of that, you kind of turn into autopilot mode, and quite often I've been editing and thought, oh my gosh, I can hardly speak. You know, remembering words and things when you're tired. It's tricky. So I'm just so grateful. And this room has come from all of you guys watching those adverts or skipping through the adverts. So I'm extremely grateful to you for doing that, because it means that ASMR people like me can create spaces like this in order to film more videos. And ASMR is what it's all about. There. I could sit here for hours and hours, chatting to you, listening to the odd sound here and there. There's actually an aeroplane flying overhead right now, quite a loud one, it's quite low, but I'm not sure if you'll hear it. I can feel it, it's sort of vibrating. The cedarwood smells beautiful, so I'm going to leave that to burn down and fill the room. I want this to be a nice calm space, filled with love and positivity. So I shall intend to keep it that way, and always come in a good mood and feeling positive. There we are. And by the way, my daughter has already decided that she's having sleepovers in here in the summer, seeing as there's a bed, so that's fine. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. I shan't show you around the room too much more in the future, because I know some of you don't like to really, what's the word? Taint the magic. Sometimes it's nice not to know how the background is put up, and all of that stuff. Sometimes it's more tingly not to know. But this video is for those that really wanted to see the room, and I was excited to show it to you. And no doubt over time it will change. I will bring in different furniture and recycle the old, just to change things up, but for me it was important that it's a blank space that I can decorate with things and different colours and just change up the mood. There. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Lots and lots of love and lots of big grateful thank yous. See you soon.